Avantis, everyone in the family of Avantis and Team Lease, I welcome you once again to what promises to be one of the wonderful discussion-oriented, information-rich session with experts from the industry. We are going to be talking about one of the very important topics today around how the digital age is transforming the secretarial function and reducing the complexity of the same. I have the pleasure of hosting an elite panel today, 3 panelists who bring wonderful experience and will enrich our overall understanding of this topic. Let me start with introductions. I have Manoj Gagwani with me. Manoj, if you can bring up your video. Manoj is senior most among all of us on the panel today. He leads the legal and secretarial function at the Future Consumer Limited and is also the Chief Compliance Officer there. Manoj brings over 32 years of experience in legal and corporate secretarial function across many organizations engaged in manufacturing, retail, real estate, consumer goods, among others. He has been associated with Future Consumer since 2008 and has worked towards strengthening the relationships between respective shareholders and the company in each phase of its business, be that of the business of non-banking financial company, retail, and the current FMCG business. Before Future Consumer, Manoj has worked on heading Indian and international legal functions in companies like Pidilite, Dheel Kamal, and Excel Industries. Manoj is a qualified company secretary, a law graduate, and a diploma in intellectual property studies as well. Manoj, welcome.
Yeah, hi everybody. I think there is no more introduction required than what Rishi has done. Rishi has given a very crisp and concise introduction about Manoj Gagwani, what I am. Just a brief note on that. I have around 25 plus years of experience in my corporate secretarial function. I have been with good companies in my career. We are having background on the legal front. I have been enjoying the dual portfolio across all my trenches with all the corporates where I have worked in the past. So I would try to bring in my experience for the purpose what we are meeting today. And I hope you guys would gain something out of it. Over to you, Rishi.
Excellent. Manoj, if you can bring up your video, that would be fantastic. Our next panelist today comes from the IT and IT-enabled services, Amit Atre, who is a company secretary and compliance officer of Persistent Systems, one of the leading software development companies in the country, where he also is responsible for corporate compliances, secretarial functions, among others. Amit brings over 14 years of experience in handling compliances in India and abroad. He has contributed towards preparedness of ISO certification and thereafter annual or yearly surveillance audit of the company. Amit is a visiting faculty and a guest lecturer at reputed professional institutions. He was an elected member of the managing committee of Pune chapter of ICSI. He's authored several articles which are published by reputed national and international journals. Amit has earned his bachelor's degree in commerce and law, master's degree in management with specialization in finance from University of Pune, and is the member of ICSI since May 2007. Amit ranked first in the international course on IPR and e-commerce held by WIPO Switzerland in 2006. Amit, welcome. Looking forward to an engaging discussion today.
Thank you. Thank you, Rishi, for the wonderful introduction. And all the best, guys. This topic is very near to my heart because I'm a hardcore company secretary who is working in the company secretarial field or the corporate secretarial field for the last few years. I know that this is an ever-evolving function, so I cannot call myself as expert. Rishi took the pleasure of calling us experts, but I don't identify ourselves as experts. We all are equal when we are at the floor. So let us share with each other our experiences. Let us discuss the topics and let us grow together. So look forward to a wonderful discussion and a wonderful interaction with all the panelist members. And over to you, Rishi.
Great. Well, thank you. Our last panelist today is Nikhil Deshpande. Nikhil is currently leading the secretarial team of Krishna Diagnostics, one of India's largest diagnostic service providers, both in radiology and pathology. The company is headquartered here in Pune. Nikhil is a qualified company secretary, a law graduate, having acquired specialization in corporate secretarial domain of listed companies with skills focused in corporate law. Nikhil brings hands-on experience of over 11 years in handling multidisciplinary areas of core secretarial, regulatory, and compliance function while handling two public issues, IPOs, ESOPs, corporate restructuring, compliance management, and allied regulatory and legal affairs for the organizations of repute. Nikhil, welcome to the team today.
Thanks, Rishi. I hope this will be a very interactive session. Over to you. Thank you.
Excellent. So why I'm so excited about this panel today, we have Manoj on one side, who brings a fantastic plethora of experience on the subject of various aspects, from regulatory to secretarial to legal. He does a lot of work in being a general counsel. In his current role, some really exciting stuff is going on between Amazon, Future Retail, and Reliance, and so on and so forth. Manoj is party to some of interesting stuff going on there. We have Amit, who comes from IT-enabled services. Persistent has seen a meteoric rise in the recent rally. Amit has been with them for an extended period of time, ever since company has gone public, and has managed the affairs of a listed company really well. And Persistent is acknowledged as a very well managed company. And then we have Nikhil, who brings in the experience of taking two companies to IPO. And Nikhil, congratulations on the recent IPO.
Thank you.
Well, so let's get this conversation started. COVID has changed a lot of things for all of us. The way I see COVID, of course, full of pain, a lot of death, a lot of misery, a lot of personal losses. But when I flip over and look at the professional side of life, one thing COVID has done exceptionally well, which is accelerate the adoption of digital technologies. I'm sure all of us would agree that if it was not for COVID, some of these adoptions could have taken as many as 5 to 10 years. Today, it's not uncommon to see a child in 2nd or 3rd grade operating a Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Google Hangouts on their own, attending classes, downloading assignments, uploading assignments back, taking exams on the electronic media. And you can imagine the ramifications of this level of digital friendliness in their choices as they grow up. Now let's use some of this for our key business functions. At Avantis, over the last 8 years, the company has worked towards automating, simplifying, and digitizing compliance management for corporate India. We've taken this knowledge, the body of knowledge that we gather, to the government, and we have engaged with many ministries at central and state levels to help them reimagine their compliance framework. One function which is very close to my heart is the secretarial function, because that brings a phenomenal amount of value when it comes to shareholder, stakeholder, board, and other engagement. The value of a company can go up or down based on the perception in the marketplace. And a company secretary and the way they conduct themselves in the function carries a lot of weight there. So what we'll do today is, in the next few minutes, I will bring up a few slides. We will talk about the importance of secretarial function and why it is so important at this juncture, when the world is recovering from COVID, to rethink the way we manage our secretarial function, so that some of us here who've spent half our life becoming skilled at something don't end up wasting a lot of that time on manual, ad hoc, paper-based, and people-dependent activities. So let's look at what it looks like. So at a broad level, Companies Act of 2013 has over 500 compliances and over 100 filings applicable to various kinds of companies. So out of 69,000 odd compliances that we have, unique compliances, secretarial function contributes a chunk. These are also amended frequently. Just to bring a larger context, The country sees over 3,500 regulatory changes in a year. A number of them come from secretarial function as well. It's dynamic, rules change, timelines change, penalties change, formats change, calculations change, duty and interest structures change. Number of these things change. And a company secretary is responsible for identifying the change, understanding it, analyzing it, doing an impact assessment, and then taking necessary action to stay compliant. For public listed companies, and we have people here who represent public listed companies, there are over 200 compliances that they have to go through, especially the SEBI, including LODR, PIT, among others. The cost of non-compliance is very high, going up to jail term in a number of cases. So you can imagine the job of a company secretary becomes that much more important. Let's move on and look at some of the other aspects. Section 203 of the Companies Act designates company secretary as a key management personnel. Section 2 of the Companies Act also designates a company secretary as an officer of default, and they can be penalized when the company does not comply with the act and its provisions. You can imagine the job not only puts onus and responsibilities, there are also penal provisions going up to jail term for non-compliances. Moving on, the current challenges, highly complex, requires in-depth knowledge, understanding, and not just assessment. It also requires a phenomenal amount of memory, because there are so many sections, so many permutations and combinations that when you have to make decisions in short and compressed periods of time, it is never easy. A lot of it is manual. In fact, the other day I was sitting and identifying how many times a company secretary copies and pastes names of directors and DIN numbers and so on and so forth. It is not even funny. Imagine a senior person who has gone through so many qualifications is sitting and doing a lot of paperwork, which is so manual and requires so many copy pastes. Thank God for Control-C, Control-V. Otherwise, this job would become even more complex. To compound matters, we've already seen the regulatory changes that happen, high penalties we spoke about, and so many pages of documents get generated, whether it is at agenda level, resolutions, or any other kind of documents. We'll talk about some of this in my subsequent slides, and that's what makes it very complex. A sneak preview of compliances. The statutory compliances, including SEBI and company law, for listed companies are around 326. For public companies, it's 103, and for private limited companies are 93. In terms of event-based compliances, there are about 175 for public listed, 160 for public companies, and about 130 for private limited companies. So you can see that the quantum of work to be managed in a year is just humongous. We have translated this into specific items, and I thought it would be interesting to share some of these numbers with our audience today. If you look at board meetings, there are about 4 in a year, notices per meeting 1, agenda items about 35, pages in agenda about 400, pages in minutes about 70, total number of pages that a company secretary deals with for a private limited company is about 1674. And we have done similar work for committee operations, 16 meetings, and so on and so forth, and an additional 600 odd pages when it comes to committee operations. And then AGM and similar numbers there, and you deal with about 180 odd pages, and you add them all up, you're dealing with over 2,000, 2,500 pages in a year, making sure version management happens, indexing happens, they are searchable, sortable, they are, you can retrieve them when you need them, and so on. And that's how this job becomes extremely complicated. So now let me start this discussion today and call upon Manoj, who's the senior most of the lot. Manoj, if I can request you to bring up your camera if possible.
I'm sorry, Rishi, my camera is giving some technical problem. Allow me to share my thoughts over audio.
Sure, no problem. So Manoj, you've spent over 30 years in the industry, and practically you've seen a generation go by.
Yeah.
right? Some of our audience today were not even born when you were already practicing this function.
Yeah.
A lot of water has flown under the bridge in the last 30 years. We had Companies Act of 1956. We are now with Companies Act of 2013. A lot of stuff changed there. I wanted to have you share your thoughts on the key challenges that you think are typically faced by our secretarial friends out there in corporates as well as practicing company secretaries.
Yeah, sure. I will, since you are mentioning about the years of experience, what I carry, let me tell this audience that I started my career when the minutes book were maintained with a handwritten note. I started writing minutes by way of a handwritten note, and those notes were bound, which turned out to be a minute book. So that is where I started my career with in this field. I have seen tremendous change that has happened over last 25 plus years, what I am practicing as a company secretary. And I see that the involvement of technology that has today come in has made the lives very easy. And I will say that it is a boon for the generation today who is practicing the company secretary's position. Otherwise, with so much of amendments, so much of documentation, so much of compliances, it was not possible for any person to keep track of the amendments, the changes and compliances, and SEBI coming in, giving some regulation, MCA giving some completely confusing clarification to it, and so on and so forth. So it is today the digitization that I feel is a blessing to this generation who are into the profession of company secretaries, which not only helps them in keeping track of things, but it in expeditious completion of their assignments. Imagine a situation where there was a board meeting to be held, which has to take care of so many compliances. How would it be possible if there was no digitization? So I remember a position in my own company where about 7-8 years back, when I gave a proposal to my management that we have been printing at least 2000 odd pages for the board meetings. For one board meeting, we used to print more than 2000 pages, and we used to have not less than 5 to 6 board meetings. So in all, I believe we must be printing more than 25,000 pages in a year, considering the committee meetings and the other stuff that we used to carry on. So the replacement was for that. I had proposed to go on the iPads, which used to replace the physical documentation. So initially, there were hesitance from the senior board members who used to sit in onto our board, but slowly and gradually, I saw acquaintance coming on to all the board members. And now today, in my board meeting, there is hardly any paper that is visible on the table. If at all by mistake there is a there is a document placed on the table, it is one of the board members who will say that why do we want to waste this paper? So it is not only the benefit of expedition or the benefit of following or completion of the process, it is also that it helps the environment. What I personally feel is that using so many pages, though we write at the end of each email, save pages and save trees and all those things, but I see that at times we hardly remember that. So what I understand is that digitization has really come as a blessing to this generation, and with the help of computers and technology and all, things would be very easy, and things would be in a much better way. And when we would be in a position to highlight our positions in the organization. Otherwise, it was considered as a person who is merely keeping books in his shelves, and he is merely accommodator of documents. So I think this has come as a blessing for you guys. And of course, I am on the stage of completion of my professional career. I am 54 today, and I would be out of employment in coming 4 years. But I believe for those who are in employment, not restricting to the guys in employment, but also in practice, please make best use of the technology, the blessing what has come over the period of time. I think that's all from my side. Over to you, Rishi.
So Manoj, thank you so much. It's so lovely to hear the world has come so far from a point where minutes were written in ink and pen. 25,000 sheets were being printed every year. And in my own head, I was doing a calculation and found that it was 4.25 trees that was being consumed by just one company's board and other secretarial operations. So looks like we've come a long way from where the world started. So
let me intervene there. When you have made the calculation of trees, I will just add to that we have 150 odd companies in the group.
Okay, so I'll not do the calculation.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, and I'll come back to you, Manoj, in a few minutes. Let me get
Sure,
Amit
sure. Thank you.
on the panel now. Amit,
Yes,
you have been with Persistent since the start of your career,
sure.
right? The first few years, if I'm not wrong, Persistent was still private limited, and sometime
Yes.
in 2010 timeframe it went public.
Absolutely.
It's been about 11 years since Persistent has been public. Anand and team have done just an outstanding job, raising the profile of Persistent and taking it to a whole new level.
Correct.
You guys make Pune and all of us in Pune proud. Now, switching over to the secretarial side of the world, walk us through the journey and help us understand the complexities of your role and the problems that you face on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. Thank you, Rishi. The good part is that I have not seen those days like Manoj has seen, where he used to write the minutes by hand and get it bound by the afterwards for the record purpose. We had because we were from the IT industry right from the beginning. We had those amenities of technology, and our most important, our management had someone has a problem about audio.
Yeah.
Should I continue or should I hold on?
Oh, you should continue because I'm able
Sure.
to hear you well. Nikhil,
Absolutely.
can you confirm that Amit and myself are both audible?
Yes, you are very much audible. You
Sure.
can go ahead.
It looks like one of our panelists is having an audio problem. Continue, Amit.
So the best part over here is that I have not seen those days when Manoj sir used to write it by hand for the minutes, and the multiple companies with multiple minutes and all those documentation. The good part is that because it is a IT industry, and because the management is also aware about the technology and it's the power of the technology and the power of the digitalization, we were switched to the digital part of the function much earlier. I'm fortunate that my team also helped me a lot adapting that technology and reflecting that particular technology to the function. That is why this particular thing is possible for me, that I can see that the things are pretty smooth in the department and for the company as well. Running the company for last 14 years plus running it across multiple functions, frankly speaking, it is never an easy job. I will never call it as an easy job, but thanks to the digitalization again, the world has come so closer because of the emails and because of the video calls. Frankly speaking, you don't feel that you are quite at a distance, and you can actually interact in the same capacity or in the same with the same understanding with all the participants who are there in your team, as well as the stakeholders who are actually helping your function. The board of directors, the management, and the senior management, they are the, frankly speaking, the top management. And if it is very easy if the management understands the importance of the digitalization. It always flows from top to bottom. It never starts at the bottom and the thought grows up and management picks it up. It never happens. Frankly speaking, if a thought needs to be engraved in the management, in the company, frankly speaking, it has to come from the top, and most important, top management should be convinced with that. Otherwise, these things are very difficult. As I mentioned, the management was already in sync with the digitalization and the importance, or rather the power of the digitalization. Frankly speaking, we are actually selling the digitalization.
So
And that is,
if I can pause you there,
yes,
right? As they say, devil is in the detail.
absolutely.
So why don't you talk about some complications in your talk? Let's forget digitization for 5 minutes.
Sure.
Let's talk about some complications that we have, which needs to be managed on a day-to-day basis, which if not managed well, will cause problems. Let's hear.
I will start with a basic point, which is very common with every professional. That is the tracking of the activities which are applicable to him in a day or in a month or in for that activity. We call it as a checklist. Checklist is a very common word, and checklist is a very favorite word of every professional, every commerce professional. I started the career when at that moment I actually started preparing multiple checklists. That is how I will describe my job in the initial stage. Days. The work was volatile. The work was actually changing every day, day by day, and multiple jobs were added every day. And the only way to track them is to make a list and actually tick mark them as and you finish that particular item. That was the typical mentality or typical mindset or typical method of handling all work in a day. And I use the same method today also. The only thing is that the format has been changed. Now it has been digitalized. However, the manner remains the same.
So Amit,
Even yes,
drilling down even further,
sure.
how many checklists are we talking about, and how many activities per checklist are we referring to?
To be very frank, when we say we are the company secretaries and we are the compliance officer, that is a very fancy word. But behind a word of compliance officer, we need to be compliant of all the laws which are applicable to the company. And when we say all the laws applicable to the company, I have not met any person who can guarantee me these are the only laws which are applicable to your company. Even the consultants, even our own management people, even myself, I'm not confident whether I am complying all the laws. Obviously, I'm trying all the most that most of the laws or 99% laws I'm complying, but there is a 1% which I will keep it for the fortune, saying that that is the depth of this particular function. When we say we want to be compliant of all the laws, obviously we should know all the laws. And when we say we know all the laws, we should drill down those laws into the checklist, into the item list, into the list of entries of per compliance. Obviously these are the calendar compliances. These are not the activity based compliances. Yes, you had some question.
So just to talk further and add some color and flavor with facts.
Correct.
There are 1,536 acts in the country which
Correct.
are entrepreneurs in India. Formal employers, there's a universe of 1,536 acts with about
Wow.
69,233 unique compliances. And all of these lead to about 6,618 filings, which are unique across the law of the land in India.
Wow.
A small company, Amit.
This information at your fingertip is actually a fascinating thing for me.
So Amit, this is what we do for a living.
Sure.
And a team of about 70 lawyers over the last 8 years has put this information together. But
Correct.
what is the bottom line? The bottom line is an MSME, and I'll take one industry, say pharma. One pharma MSME with a single entity, single plant, single location in one state operation today deals with about 925 compliances per year.
Oh my God. Is it a scary?
And it's one state. Now multiply this with a few states in case the pharma company is not a tiny little MSME with a couple of tens of crores in revenue. Multiply this to a few hundred crores in revenue. And with COVID, we've all gone through that. Pharma companies have seen a rapid rise. Growth has gone up significantly. Just imagine the complexity of compliance management when you are not in one location, but multiple locations. So you're absolutely right. I fully concur. In my conversations with some of the executives nationwide across almost 40 different industries in a year, if there is a single challenge which haunts everybody, it is the fact that whether I have a list which is complete.
Plus the updates.
And that's what my next point was. To compound problems, we have 3,500 plus updates in a year. And we did an analysis recently that for this kind of a mid-sized pharma company, between center and the state, they deal with anywhere between 400 to 700 changes in a year, depending on what was the
applicability.
Right. So
correct.
You're absolutely right. That's a problem we are dealing with. So checklist is a huge problem. That's
Yes.
what we solve right now. Our team of 70 lawyers help you based on our database, both the stock and the flow, to make sure that the law of the land is applicable.
This is a commercial and noble, both works.
Absolutely. And that's where a lot of work that we do is in public domain, where we don't even
Yes.
charge our clients. You
Correct.
can go to our website for the audience at aventis.co.in, and you can find legal updates across the law of the land free of cost within 24 hours.
Absolutely. Great.
Well, let me now call Nikhil into the conversation. So Nikhil, you bring a very different perspective. You came to Krishna, and
Yes.
before too long, Krishna went IPO.
Yes.
I just wonder someday when I want to go IPO, I should call upon you and
Thank you.
walk us through this journey.
Yes.
So talk to us about your perspective on challenges and get into the details as much as you want.
So starting with, completing an IPO and getting listed is itself a very huge sense of responsibility. When you get listed, when you're a private entity, you're not answerable to a large number of stakeholders. But when you go for an IPO and go get listed, you are responsible and you are answerable to the large number of stakeholders, including government authorities like SEBI, then stock exchanges, maybe for that matter, large number of investors who have invested in your company at the time of IPO also, and whoever will be investing through stock market, secondary market in IPO. So I would rather say that yes, it's a great sense of responsibility after getting into the role of a company secretary of a listed entity. I think to start with, I'll say that the modern company secretary role has changed a lot from handling conventional secretarial practices to much wider roles and responsibilities like overseeing processes to support effective corporate governance while remaining compliant with applicable rules and regulations. As we all are aware that corporate governance has gained a lot of importance in the recent times. I think it's a system by which the company is directed so that it can achieve overall objectives of the company. So I will say that when we look after the digitization, it is more emphasizing on the corporate governance itself. I will say that corporate governance is more concerned about the relationships, structures, processes, information flows, which actually needs the digitization and controls and decision making and accountability at the highest level for the company. I think when we talk about the digitization of the secretarial function, it means the digitization of board processes, or I would say more appropriately, we can say it boardroom digitization. The second thing I think is digitization of compliance management of various functions of the organization to ensure the maximum governance. And third is, I think, digitization of day-to-day secretarial functions. Of course, it comes with various challenges, adopting right technologies, continuous training to handle the technologies, supporting other functions, top management and boards to adopt the digitization in a smooth manner, I think. Overall, I think company secretary needs to be upskilled every time. Moreover, digitization can be done considering some important aspects like highest governance, applicable technologies, and maybe we can say InfoSec norms. Of course, cost effectiveness is also important when we consider about the digitization. I think this is an initial views from my side.
Excellent. Well, Nikhil, thank you so much. For our audience today, there is a Q&A section on Zoom. Please feel free to put your questions to our panelists. As we conclude the session in the later part today, I'd love to have our panelists take those questions. In the meantime, we are halfway through our discussion today. There is a small poll that I'd request Abhay to bring in, and I request you to take less than a minute to just quickly look at the poll, help us answer some of those questions. We would really appreciate your thoughts. This helps us to understand the mood of our audience and the challenges that all of you are facing. It's a simple survey with multiple choice questions. It's just a handful of questions with agree, not agree kind of answers would help us understand your challenges better. We'll give it another 30 seconds and close the survey. I'd request the panelists also to take the survey if possible. So Abhay, let's close the survey in about 10 seconds. Okay, time to close the survey. So just as a reminder, please use the Q&A section, direct all the questions to our panelists today. I will take all the easier ones and the panelists will take all the difficult ones. Okay, so let's get on to the next part of our discussion today. So how will digital technologies help? So I think all our panelists agree that digital technologies have a role to play. But just having a role to play versus the exact nature of the role and how it is going to uncomplicate, simplify, standardize, automate all the repeatable tasks and all of that, I want to hear more. Just as an example, every time you're managing, creating a board meeting, there are certain number of documents to be prepared. There are certain items to be put into those documents. Those items come from different spreadsheets where you've maintained your masters, you're using copy and paste functions in order to prepare those documents. And we were doing some time and motion study to identify how much time does it take using these kinds of traditional methods and how a digital technology, digital solution like Avasec, which is our secretarial function automation product, can help you just do it in a matter of seconds rather than doing it in terms of hours. So I would like to bring in Amit into the conversation.
Sure.
Amit.
Sure.
Stage is yours.
Frankly, technology is a boon for us. However, we should use, you should be able to use that technology in a correct manner. The technology is always there. Technology, we should actually use that. For example, artificial intelligence is actually adding a flavor to the digitalization for the secretarial functions. But are we actually utilizing that particular technology in the right way? Or do we have a domain expertise to create the technology so that the technology, there will be no bugs into that? Or do we have the right set of people with us on the other side, on our side, to help us to digitalize that particular function? That is a very important question. When we say that we have technology, frankly speaking, having a technology is not sufficient. We should use that very frequently. We should be well versed with that particular technology. There should be a regular check on eradicating the problems in that particular technology or fine tuning that technology. And most important, the technology should be in safe hands, because that is also another problem with this world, saying that the cyber attacks and all those things are actually adding more perils to the using of digitalization. So there are two ways. First of all, if you are really competent to develop a technology, you please do it. Otherwise, you please join the right set of people who actually have their expertise and actually have some domain knowledge. You, being a company secretary, have the domain knowledge with respect to the laws, with respect to the compliances. However, when it is reflected into the technology, are you really ready to ensure that the technology is correctly handling that particular compliance? If not, you should have right people on your side. This is the first and foremost thing. And second thing is that only having right people is not the sufficient. We should also estimate what could be the problems with the users. User is not always you who is actually the professional handling that particular technology. There may be some junior people in the department. There may be some other stakeholders who will have access to that technology for some part of the features. Also, the board of directors, as we rightly discussed, are they from the same technical background? Do they have that particular expertise to handle the technology? Are they of the different age groups or the same age group? All those things matter a lot. So if you are doing it on your own, fine. Make sure that you are doing it correct. Otherwise, have right people with you so that you will have a comfort. Most of the functions in the security department are are completed out of the comfort, sheer comfort. If you have comfort on one particular person, you can actually work with that person. That person is a smart, that person is a intelligent, that will not add value to your actually function. If you have that comfort, you can actually work for that person, with that person for a long period.
So Amit, if I interrupt you here, once you have to conduct a board meeting, just drilling down further, right from deciding when the board meeting has to be done, identifying a convenient date when board meeting can be conducted, when all directors are available,
Correct.
identifying the right agenda items, creating an agenda,
Yes.
having all the relevant annexures which are important for board member to review as a part of the dialogue, creating it, compiling it, making sure it is done well, then a junior person preparing it, sending it to a senior person for their review, this back and forth happening a few times with edits getting done, version management of all of this getting done, this getting embedded with DIN numbers and director names and this and that, all of this being sent to the relevant directors certain number of days ahead of the meeting. All of these are highly manual activities as on date.
Yes.
Company
Yes.
secretaries spend not hours but days and weeks trying to get this right.
Correct.
And in spite of all of this work,
Hmm.
a lot of times they'll have egg on their face because there are typos here and there. There are documents which got missed here and there. Because after all, company secretaries are humans.
Yes.
And the amount of
I
paper
agree.
that they are dealing with is just humongous.
Agree.
At Aventis, we have drilled down into the lower level and found that 60-70% of these items are highly repetitive.
Yes,
You're
you
picking
are
the
correct.
name from here, the director name from here, the address from here, agenda item from here. There are standard templates for these agendas. There are standard templates for minutes and so on and so forth. And we have realized that if this is all digitized well, almost 90 to 95% of redundant time can be cut out. And that's
Absolutely.
a power of technology.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about, where this is the low hanging fruit. And I'm just making one small part of a board meeting. There are so many other committee operations, there's so many other documents.
Multiple activities. Correct.
And then there are so many meetings in a year. And for a person like yourself or Manoj, who have been, doing this for a very long period of time, the number of documents are just humongous.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Right
that's
words.
where I think the power of technology comes in, and AI is basically a cherry on the cake.
Absolutely. Absolutely. AI is the only way to survive in this fast fast changing world of the compliances, because most of the things are repetitive. Most of the things you can predict, frankly speaking. There are some exceptions which you have to pay attention, that anyways you pay attention considering the seriousness of the matter, considering the importance of the matter. But yes, once you actually go through the cycle, second time you can observe, third time you can actually evolve, you can develop the additional things. It is not a rocket science.
Absolutely. Now, Manoj, I don't know if your video is going to work, but
No, it is not. It is not. You need to excuse me.
no worries at all. I was just hoping that somehow it works so people can see you, but never mind. Why don't you come in now? You're the senior most out of all of us, seen the world much more, worked with a variety of companies. How do you think digitization should work? What should be digitized? Where the benefits are likely to be? How a role of a company secretary can change from more of an operations to strategic person who's planning more, strategizing more, staying on top of this regulatory environment, working on enhancing the image of the company and governance, risk and compliance functions, maturity. What should change from a digitization point of view?
Well, I heard you saying that there are a lot of repetitive things. You cut something from here, paste something over there. You copy from here, paste over there, and so on and so forth. So, yes, you are absolutely right. In a way, if you see, the company secretary's job is a boring job. I would say, after spending 25 years into this profession, that at times I feel that what is that new that I'm doing? What is written in the book, I am reading it and I am doing what the book has told me. That's all. So, and I am always a believer that a person should keep on doing something or the other what is new and add values to his not anything else but to his CV. So digitization is one aspect what I see, that it should help the person in improvising the output. Say today, imagine where I used to write the minutes book by hand. I used to spend at least 3 to 4 days writing the minutes, because it used to be a first cut, second cut, and then the boss will see and boss will approve, and things would get finalized. Again, there will be a minor correction, that page will need to be replaced and all. Those all problems you don't see in today's time. So virtually speaking, I agree that there are a lot of things that have changed. There are a lot of compliances that have come into which a person needs to pay attention, and the time goes there. But by saving on to those human efforts with the help of technology, today you are in a situation where you can do something much better besides your regular secretarial functions. So my take would be that with the help of technology, applying the technology in the right perspective and in the right manner, uh, company secretaries have option to look at something besides this monotonous secretarial job. So this technology can be taken as a rescue to this, I will say, repetitive job that we have been doing over the past so many years. I have seen a lot of people. About day before yesterday, I came across a person who is a company secretary with a reputed company, and he has taken the additional portfolio of HR. So how could that happen? I'm sure it is with the help of the technology. He is in a position to do as many compliances as a company secretary in a normal listed company does. But because he has invested his time and his efforts in standardizing or formulating themes with the help of technology, he has been able to take an additional task of getting exposed to the HR functions. And that, I believe, is a great experience for a person who has to do diversified things. So I believe that one should keep on targeting larger canvas, and technology is one thing that has come into rescue for this generation. One should make best use of it and keep diversifying.
So Manoj, very well said. On that note, I would want to share some statistics and experience with our audience and all of us here. We were doing a survey of some senior folks on the company secretarial side, including practicing company secretaries. And the general feeling was that 10 to 20% of their role involves knowledge, expertise, experience. The other 80% of the role is pretty much about doing redundant, overlapping,
Exactly.
manual activities, filling forms, doing mechanical things, which becomes monotonous, boring, and at the same time don't add value to the company or the individual.
Perfect. Yeah, I
Now,
fully
if you
agree.
can bring technology into this and reduce that 60, 70, 80%, give or take, to less than 10, 15, 20%, because the rest of it, technology can take care, then suddenly you have a lot more time on your plate than one
Right.
realizes today.
Right, right. And the example what I gave, this guy taking the portfolio of being the HR head along with being the company secretary, that wouldn't have been possible.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree. So, Nikhil, you moved from a private limited company to listed company twice.
Yes.
The moment you become listed, a whole bunch of additional over 200 SEBI, LODR, PIT, and among others compliances come onto the scene. The disclosures, the reporting responsibilities, the amount of paperwork back and forth, the responsibilities from a shareholder point of view, all of these things go up quite dramatically.
Yes.
How does technology help, or how should it help to simplify matters for this class of customers?
Yeah. I was actually coming to that point only. See, the thing is that, as I said, that digitization means, for me, digitization is digitization of your board processes, digitization of your compliance management, and digitization of your day-to-day secretarial processes. I would like to more focus on digitization of your compliance management, because as you see that if you're going to be a listed company, an organization uh, which will be burdened with so many applicable rules and regulations as compared to private limited companies. I will not say that the company secretary, and as Amit has also already said, that the company secretary is not only responsible for the corporate laws, but company secretary is responsible for compliances of all the applicable laws to the company. So I will say digitization will definitely help in tracking all the applicable laws. There are so many functions in the organization like HR, finance, then admin, maybe we have treasury, then we have taxation department, we have legal department, we have some, in my case, I'll say that we have one PPP department which looks after the tendering and everything. So we have some other departments. We have our operations team, which looks into diagnostics functions. So there are a lot of compliances applicable to each and every function. So I will say digitization will definitely help to track and keep track of all the compliances, keep updated about all the compliances applicable. I think that would definitely rescue the company's compliance management in a due course.
Absolutely. And we've seen this happen in real life. Today, we work with over 1,500 companies across the length and breadth of India. Literally every state, we have clients across 40 industries. And we have seen the power of digitization and the magic that comes after that, where one single notice can put you behind by a few lakh rupees in penalties. People don't realize that, non-compliance is very expensive. And if it
Very
gets caught, you're not only losing time, effort, energy, you're also losing money.
money.
So it's like paying an insurance premium, right? I mean, we often pay insurance premium. I heard my previous generation, including my father, say many times that I've already paid lakhs and lakhs of premium and have never been able to utilize it. And I often tell him that you're lucky not to have utilized it, right? Insurance premium is to manage your downside risk.
Definitely.
Similarly, the way we look at it at Avantis, digitization is not an option anymore, right? You don't ask this question when you digitize your sales and marketing management with CRM functions. You manage your operations and processing and other things via ERP functions. You manage your payroll and other things via HRMS and HR tech functions. Most organizations have gone ahead and digitized key functions and processes within their companies. If you look at secretarial, you look at compliance as a function, we still continue to operate as if we were in 20th century. We haven't migrated to 21st century.
Yes.
We haven't seen company secretaries, demand some of these sophisticated tools, ask for automation of redundancies and manual functions. And I think the users have to become more sophisticated. They have to start demanding for the ecosystem to start creating solutions. Digital payments is not an option anymore, right? Everybody is saying, I need to pay digitally. If Google Pay doesn't work, I'll go to Bheem. If Bheem doesn't work, I'll go to PhonePe. They are looking for alternatives because the demand sophistication is forcing ecosystem players like us to do a better job of automating functions, to create a layer of abstractions so that you as practitioners can spend more time on planning, strategizing, and staying on top of compliance rather than spending 80% of your time just managing people. So I think where I come from, I would want to see more and more company secretaries challenge companies like ours, start using products like us, crib and complain saying this needs to be done better, work with us, collaborate with us, because this is a journey of 1,000 miles. No single person can sit and solve this problem. We all have to collectively come together as practitioners and as creators, where we can solve the pain, you have the pain, and coming together will alleviate this for everyone. So one thing I have been talking about is this function has to become more demanding. Don't worry about whether you're a pain in the wrong place. Become more demanding, start trying solutions. Automatically more and more providers will come on this. So with that, let me come to our Q&A. There are some questions here. The first one is from Vijay. How will digital technology help PCS in secretarial audit being conducted? Can you elaborate? Yes, Vijay, Avantis has been working on digitizing secretarial practice as well. We have a whole suite of solutions. There are 900 practicing company secretaries who are already on our platform. Over 10,000 customers' compliances on secretarial side are being managed on our platforms via PCS. For a limited time, we are offering the product complimentary till March of 2022. And even after that, there's a very small charge for PCS firms to go live, because there is cloud cost, there is development cost, there is management cost. Try it out and you will start experiencing the power of digitization. There's another question. What do you feel, and maybe this is something difficult question, what do you feel about compliance of regulation of 30 LODR when queries are raised by exchanges, even when it is at the discretion of management for Schedule 3, Part A on application of materiality? So this is a tough question and I would want one of our panelists to pick it.
Frankly speaking, when we say whether it is a material, the aspect is materiality defining, at this moment, it is the discretion of the management whether it is a material or not, because the criteria is decided by the management. Now, whether the particular activity is actually under that particular bucket or not is the question, which is a factual question. If you have necessary supportings with you, frankly speaking, you should provide a reply to the stock exchanges saying that after the validation of the materiality test, which has been approved by the board, we have concluded that this particular aspect is not material, and therefore we have categorized this particular item in this particular bucket. And that should be suffice, because it is a factual part. You need not explain them why it is beyond a particular point. You should only say that as approved by the board of directors, the policy it is applicable to this particular part, and hence we are of this particular opinion. If they want you to change the policy, then that is a different case. But in that case, I'm sure being a management, there will be some stance from your side as well.
Excellent. We have another question. Manoj, if you can come in on this. Are the boards ready to bring more transparency into corporate governance by using technology?
Yes, I will say today's board, yes, today's board is very much inclined to bring in technology and transparency. That is what my experience is. When I had the board members, when I had the experience of board members 15 years back, there was initial reluctance. But today I see that board is very, very eager and anxious for implementation of digitization. So yes, precisely to answer the question, the boards are inclined to do that.
Excellent. Another question from Rahul. What is government's response to accept technology APIs at the regulatory body level? Any one of you would like to answer? I have a perspective on that, which I'd love to share.
Please do that, Rishi.
So, Rahul, a lot of work has been happening by Avantis. There are 3 discrete levels at which compliance digitization works. First, lowest level, which is tracking and management, which is like you should know all the laws of the land and you should be able to track the status of each one of them so that you are on top of all your compliance obligations, and you can also generate compliance certificates automatically from the system without even touching a piece of paper. To me, that is level 1 of digitization. Level 2 of digitization is where you are not only tracking, you are also processing information in order to create regulatory documents. So for example, can you use the power of technology to automatically create an agenda? Right? Can you create a docket for a board meeting where agenda, all the enclosures get converted into one large docket, which can automatically be circulated in a secure manner? To me, that is processing to the next level. And from there, can you automatically generate the minutes in templates on your letterhead without you having to take a letterhead, print it on a printer, take it out and do next level of items? Or for that matter, can you automatically create resolutions? All of these are examples of digitization at the next level, where you're processing information, bringing multiple related information together, using the power of technology and algorithms to process information to create documents. The third level of digitization, Rahul, is when these documents have to be submitted to government. Till date, government has done a good job in creating a portal. You can go to the portal, log in with your credentials, navigate, click on some 12, 13 links, navigate to the right area, select the right menu items, upload a piece of document, and your compliance obligation is deemed completed. That is how it works today. How it should work ideally is like how you book tickets of railway from Make My Trip or cleartrip.com, where you can go to a third-party portal without even having a login ID to the government portal. You can go make choices there, click, pay, and be done. And you don't even know that IRCTC was there in the backend. That is how the future of compliance will work. And your partner here, Rishi Agarwal, along with the entire Aventis team for the last 8 years, have been envisaging a completely reimagined compliance for the country and have been working with various departments of the government on this subject. APIs are eating the world. And Amit Atre comes from technology company and can give more gyan. Anand Deshpande has been leading this on multiple fronts at Persistent.
Absolutely.
APIs are killing the way traditional softwares work. And it is high time that government, at least in major departments, start exposing APIs so that straight through processing of information, right from tracking to creation to filing, when filing happened, automatic acknowledgement that actual filing has happened. If any mistake was there, highlighting the mistake, so that all of this back and forth can happen digitally. This is going to be the future of compliance in the next 10 years, the way we envisage it. And of course, with blockchain coming in, with more technology tools coming in, some of these things will go to the next level. But I think first level is to make it straight through. So I think
sure.
Go ahead.
And to add, Rishi, frankly speaking, we are actually making the progress. The MCA portal was launched in 2005. And thereafter, till 2021, though there are some connectivity issues, there are some lags, etc., which are generated. Forget about that. However, if you see the progress, we are actually doing a development. First of all, it was just a submission of printed forms with the government department. Thereafter, we came into the online submission. Thereafter, we came into PDF submissions, PDF attachments to be submitted with MCA. Now we have gone one step ahead, and we are expecting the XBRL to be filed. When we say XBRL is nothing but the further next stage of the technology, where government can actually slice and dice the data, and they can actually pick one particular data from all the companies in just one command. And nowadays, if everybody has observed that XBRL forms have been increased, even the stock exchanges are now demanding the XBRL filings. What is that demand? The demand is nothing but the government wants automation. And as far as I experience the government departments, they are extremely cooperative if you approach them and if you request them to accept the digitalization. Even the COVID era, they have given many exemptions for the companies who are preferring the digital mode than the physical mode. And to be very frank with you people, is that we operate in European countries as well, even US as well. There are many countries still behind us in the era of digitalization. For example, the statutory filings that we make, many companies in Europe, many countries in Europe are still preferring the physical filings. We are much better in better shape. We are progressing. It will take time to get a finished product, but yes, we are on the growth path.
Excellent. Manoj, would you like to add anything?
No, I fully agree with what Amit said, that though we are looked as a backward country, but I think in digitization, we are far ahead than many more European and American countries rather. So yes.
Excellent. Another question, after going digital, do we still need to maintain some documents like minutes, registers in physical form? Anyone?
Amit, please go ahead.
Yes, Nikhil. No, Nikhil. Please,
yeah,
I will add something.
Of course, we have to maintain some statutory documents in physical form. Of course, we can convert them into a digital platform also, but for law purposes, yes, we have to maintain some documents, including minute books, in physical format also. Amit, maybe you can add something.
Yeah, you have absolutely correct when about minutes. The rest documents, the rest forms, we can actually store it on server, and as per the IT Act, we are permitted to store them for 8 years or some documents on a perpetual nature. But yes, for minutes, I don't see any exemption at the moment. For minutes, we have to preserve. All rest documents under the Companies Act can be preserved
In
electronically.
digital form. Yeah.
Sanjay Sharma has asked a question: what all activities can be digitized? Sanjay ji, everything, right from finding time slots on your directors' calendars to creating an agenda, to creating a docket, to circulating it out, to have people, directors make their own public or private notes, to having a meeting electronically with Zoom, WebEx kind of platforms which are integrated, to voting and noting on various kinds of agendas, to taking attendance. So every single thing that you can imagine can now be done digitally. And our product in Avantis called Avasec promotes it, creates it. Of course, early days, there are over 350 agendas which are already completely digitized. If you would like to get more details, please reach out to us and we'll be happy to schedule a discussion. Another audience question: management is still resistant to put in place techno systems for higher price for small companies, and the burden falls on company secretary, although they can put SAP systems at higher price. So in the manner in which you have helped PCS to purchase a software, I don't know your name, but for limited time, software is available free, completely free for PCS firms. We don't even charge a penny. After March 2022, the software will be available for as little as 800 rupees a month for a fair number of company secretarial firms. Trust me, 800 rupees a month is not even a cost of operating such a software. But in order to have company secretaries start realizing the power of software, Avantis as a company has taken this step. So price is not a problem. It's a mindset problem. It's a habit problem.
Absolutely.
Get over that and you will be able to start leveraging the power of digital platforms.
And on top of that, if you really want to know the cost of a compliance, you should do a non-compliance, and then the government departments will let you know what is the cost of a compliance.
Well
Frankly
said.
speaking, this is not the matter where we should negotiate, and rather the management should negotiate. It is we, the company secretaries, who should actually explain to the management what is the need of an R, how it is going to help them in future, and how this is a good governance. It is not compliance. Compliance is just a offshoot. But the more important word or more important goal of every organization should be the governance. And governance cannot be taught. You should understand that governance, you should have that imbibed in you, and in your practices you should reflect that governance. Once you understand that part, you will do anything for that, making sure that you are compliant. And then there are people like Rishi who can help us to make sure that this can be optimized in a better manner.
So I think we're short our time by 8 minutes. Nikhil, go ahead.
Yeah, to add, Amit, I'll say that as Rishi has already said that technology can be used as an insurance for saving non-compliance penalties and everything.
निखिल, मैं बहाना दे रहा था लोगों को. Lot of times people think, अरे टेक्नोलॉजी में पैसा क्यों खर्चा करना है? And I was just giving that as an excuse to think of it as an insurance premium.
Insurance, yes.
Because one non-compliance can put you behind by a few lakh rupees and a lot of executive time and too many coordinations, and board members will ask you questions. The confidence of public will go down. It affects your stock price. Today, a non-compliance on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn can result in serious dent in a company's reputation, which takes years to build. So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Sooner company secretaries realize the power of technology, the better off they will be, more from an efficiency, productivity, and then from a compliance point. So we have another 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds, each one of you, last closing remarks.
Rishi, for me, I would say that digitization is one of the mandates for all the company secretaries today, and we should believe in digitization of our activities to the best of the capabilities, because I understand somebody asking a question where it was very obvious that the person wants to implement it, but they have their own limitations. There may be budget constraints and all, but we have to find our ways how best we can do that. So that is where the way we have to save our skin.
Great. Amit?
Sure. Frankly speaking, there is no option than to go to digitalization. Today or tomorrow, we have to go. Earlier we go, better comfort we will get. So frankly speaking, it is the topic is absolutely correctly chosen. And thank you, Rishi, for making this topic aware to many of the professionals. Today or tomorrow, now it is you who have to decide when you want to move.
Sure. Nikhil?
I will say that digitization is at ease for management, for company, for all the functions of the organization, as well as for the secretarial team. So I will say digitization is really required. Digitization is must, I will say.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. For the audience, please visit www.avantis.co.in so that you can stay on top of all the regulatory updates for free. You can sign up for a free newsletter from there, choose your own categories, regulators, and so on, and stay on top of all your regulatory updates without paying a penny. It's important that you begin your digital journey. It doesn't matter when you're going to start, as long as you can start it, because as they say, well begun is half done. With that, we are.
So should we take these as a CSR from Avantis?
Yes, it is. We have been working on it, Manoj, and I would like to call upon our audience to actually go to our App Store or Play Store and look for Rules Book app, RULEZBOOK, Rules Book, not with an S, but with a Z. And it's a free app, native on iOS and Android. And you can stay on top of all regulatory updates. I can tell you, I hear so many positive things because a lot of company secretaries find it as a great resource of for staying on top of all the regulatory changes. So it is a CSR. We think it's our corporate responsibility to make sure that this asset can be made available. We scan 2,233 websites, Manoj, every morning, and 73 lawyers work on this every day so that we can make this resource available to thousands of practitioners, lawyers, company secretaries, chartered accountants, others professionals in the country on our website for free. And it's just a click away, and everybody should just go and sign up so that you can start your digital journey from there. In addition,
CSR is not corporate social responsibility. Here it is company secretary's rescue.
Well said.
Well said.
Excellent. I should remember that. So with that, we are ready to sign off. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rishi. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.